Hey guys, it's me, Laurel. That sounded like I was supposed to say, it's me, Mario. Awkward start to the episode. But hey, it's your girl, and we're doing a solo episode today. And you know why? Because I'm feeling spicy. And when I'm at my spiciest is when I have my best solo episodes. So how do we get into this? I mean, you know I exist on the internet, and that comes with many pros, wonderful things, community, meeting people. And that's a lot of cons though. And I have talked about several of those many times. One, of course, being the comments and just having yourself out there, just open to literally anyone in the world's opinion, criticism, negativity, death threat. That's a fun new one. We might get into that later. Most recently, though, today's what's really chapping my ass today that I want to talk about is a specific video. Now, if you follow me, my content is, of course, all over the map. Many things. I am not just one niche. I am, well, if chaos is a niche, that's me. But yeah, like one day you might get fashion. One day you might get cows. One day, baby chickens. The next day, abortion law, which I would like to preface real quick that I am pro-choice. Okay. 10 callers just dropped. Okay. Okay. Anyway, now that we have that out of the way, the video I'm referring to today is a video I made about my cow, Greta. And if you're an OG, you know Greta. But if not, that's cool too. You're welcome here and I will catch you up to speed. So basically, Greta is one of the first 3 Highlands we ever brought home 3 years ago. And essentially, she's one of the 3 that started the ranch, that started our whole operation. And she was gorgeous, and she was red, and she had beautiful horns. And then what had happened was awful. She died unexpectedly. She was due to calve in like 3 months, I think, at that time. And I can't remember where we were, but the whole fam, we had left for the afternoon. I don't know if we went to like a barbecue or something. We were gone for like 3 hours, I want to say. And when we came home, whenever I drive home or whenever we pull in the lane, I'm always scanning, right? Just to do a quick assessment, just a quick like wellness check with the old eyeballs. And as we're pulling in, I'm looking at the hay feeder and I'm like, what the fuck is she doing there? Why isn't she moving? She was like at the feeder, but not moving and looking round, like bloated. And I was like, what the fuck? And I ran out there and long story short, she was dead. Well, not long story short, it's going to be long. I'm going to keep telling the context. So I went out there and she was dead. No coming back. She was dead. And she was dead for a little while because she had started to bloat. So what we deduced happened was, so we have the tombstone hay feeder. It has the tombstone shapes, so it keeps the bale inside, but they can still get in there with their heads and their horns. And we had a round bale in there. And what I think happened from what it looks like is she was eating from the round bale, kind of lower on the bottom part. And somehow the weight of the bale shifted. I don't know if that was because someone was eating over here, whatever happened, this area released and the weight shifted on top of her head where she was eating. And I think because she was eating kind of so from the bottom of the bale so low, she was just wedged right in there. And the weight of the bale and then her horns, she was stuck and she probably was thrashing around and probably buried herself more. And that the weight, it was pushing, so her neck would have gone on the edge of the feeder and probably suffocated her very quickly. Because that's exactly how we found her. So it makes a lot of sense that that's likely what happened. Freak accident, not preventable. Just a freak accident. Horrifying day. Just the worst, just like the most devastating thing we had ever experienced so far, and something I will never forget. And so what happened after that? So this was like July. It was so hot. She was bloated, like I said. There were flies all over her. She was already, you could see she was already starting to expel the fetus that she was growing. So that was depressing. And then we were upset, obviously, because she was going to give us a baby in a couple months. And as just really first generation ranchers, this was so new to our operation. One of 3 of the animals that were in our herd had died. So we were just down 33% of our operation that day. So we couldn't eat the meat. So we decided that we wanted to honor her as best we could and give her back to the land in which she helped start our ranch on. So what that meant to us was we wanted to keep her skull, we wanted to keep her hide, and then we wanted to bury her in our back pasture along with her calf. And so that's what we did. And what we did with the skull was, because at the time it was, again, so hot, we didn't know what we were doing. It was so stressful just to try to arrange things to get someone even to dig a hole for us to bury her. But knowing that, we want to keep the hide, we want to keep the skull. So we're like, what's the bare minimum we can do right now? And keep in mind, we have 2 young kids as well. How can we preserve her as much as we can for a later date? We don't have to do it right now, but what can we do right now that's going to honor her to the extent that we want to be able to do it? So I know there are several methods to do mounts and skull cleaning, etc. But for us, we were like, let's just put the skull in the ground. We're not in a rush. One day we'll dig it back up after the bugs and the earth have done their job, and, not in a rush to see it. Don't care to boil her, to see her face boiled off in a stock tank right now, because I'm just not in the mood for that. I'm still grieving this very raw event. So efficiency was not a concern whatsoever. We buried her skull, and then we put her hide in the freezer because I, again, didn't know what I was doing. So then fast forward 2 years later, I decided it was time to dig the skull up. Well, it was about 21 months, I believe. I thought, okay, I'm ready to dig this up. I think she's probably clean. Let's check it out. And so I made a video doing that, and also kind of explaining a little bit what I explained to you here of what had happened with Greta's story. And here, full circle moment, here's the skull unearthing her out of the ground, and how my kind of journey with grief, with all of it being new to ranching, and this being a very memorable, horrifying experience. So it was like really important to me. And the video, the tone was not comical. It was not intended to be controversial, but nothing ever is. It was really just me vulnerably sharing like I said, my journey with grief with this process, and how we chose to honor and remember this really important animal that started our whole operation. Sounds nice, right? Lovely, heartwarming. And some of the comments were just that, but a lot of them were not. Okay. And I shared this video, I think 2 months ago. And you know what? I've said it before, I'll say it again. Algorithm what? Algorithm who? I don't understand it. I don't know who's behind it, who's doing it. Nothing makes sense. Because this video just recently, again, started taking off. And like 2 months later, it is, last I checked this morning, it was at 5.4 million views. Which, if you're like a content creator or a business owner or whatever, if you're on social media, you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because yes, of course, like more views, people seeing eyes on your brand, your business, your products, your content is usually a good thing. Sure. But also it's not. And that's the problem with chasing virality, if you will, is yes, it can be good, but it can also be awful. Usually once I get into that kind of viralness, this word feels weird, then I get on the wrong side of the internet. It happens real quick. And it happened real quick. And so a lot of the comments have been pouring in, and they're atrocious and they're awful. And I'm usually like, I'm pretty good with it. I just go, okay, whatever, man. But I'm spicy today because I've seen so many come in, and it just comes back to this one point of it's so obvious that so many people are so fucking ignorant to how the world works and how agriculture works, and try to act all self-righteous and high and mighty that like farmers and me, myself are monsters for what we do, yet they're probably benefiting from agriculture. And when I say probably, I mean definitely benefiting from agricultural practices in some way or another in their day-to-day life. But they're better than me. They're better than us. So we know I'm an advocate for a lot of things. One being agriculture. I am very passionate about sharing what we do on the ranch transparently, because I do believe that talking more about common practices on farms and ranches needs to be normalized to help these people who don't understand things to look at something a different way and not look at it so like, what? Because that is one of the major problems of the world today is people have no idea what the fuck goes on and how things get on their plate or how products get on their table, etc. So that's what we're doing out here. We're fighting the good fight, and we're trying to educate some of those people. So in a nutshell, and I'm going to direct a lot of things generally today, and please know that anything negative is directed at these individuals. And there's 100% chance that that's not you if you're listening, because if you're listening to me, you probably like me, that, or you are hate listening, which thank you for the views, downloads, etc. But in general, okay, so just so you know, like I'm going to get pretty heated, and it's not you, baby girl. It's not you. But first of all, in a nutshell, 90% of these people that I'm referring to are just so completely out of touch. And I honestly think it's just so brave and admirable that they're even like commenting these things so publicly on the internet for everyone to see, because you just look fucking dumb, and everyone now can see how dumb you look. So today we're going to read some comments. So buckle up. I like to respond to trolls sometimes. I like a good clap back. But there's just so many of the same question or comment or statement, whatever, from this particular video that like I have to do it in an episode. I have to do a podcast on it to just address the masses, because it's overwhelming. The stupidity is overwhelming. So first of all, the most common question that I got, not always ignorant, but most common question I got was, how did it happen? So that is what I have already explained. But here's a few comments I got kind of on that topic. So first of all, someone, Crystal Lee says, should probably put cameras on your property to avoid tragic accidents like this. She was probably so tired and frustrated when getting stuck there. Baby girl, you don't say. You think she was fucking tired and frustrated? Bitch was fighting for her life. What would a camera have done in this situation? Tell me, what is the camera going to do? Okay. Because as far as I'm concerned, what had happened, her death would not have taken long. And even if I was home, even if I had a camera that alerted me magically, okay, even if I was able to attend to the situation at that moment, by the time I could do anything about it, by the time I could open the gate up, get the tractor, pull the bucket in to lift the fucking bale off of her or whatever, even if she was still alive, she would have had like brain damage. At that point, no oxygen was getting to her brain. She would have had to have been euthanized anyway. What do you want from me? Okay. So thanks, but no thanks for that one. Okay. Super unhelpful. Here's another one. This is from Hank. We love Hank. We don't. We fucking hate Hank. Maybe if you would have checked you cattle, you wouldn't be in this problem. And I don't be calling me out because I own goats. There's more. Because I own goats that get their heads stuck in fence, and all it takes is glance for 2 seconds to save you from this dumb shit. Did you say dumb shit, Hank? You sure did. Because goats and cows are the same for sure. That's all I'm going to give you. And then we have, I can't even read your name. I don't know, man. Y'all sound really defensive for an accident. Sadly, it was most likely very preventable. I'm just loving that there's so many fucking experts in my comment section. You know what I'm saying? Oh, tell me more. It was likely preventable? Most likely? Where's your sort? Like, you fucking, people just talking out of their asses. I cannot. And how fucking rude is that? Oh, this video of a woman mourning the loss of her cattle and also bittersweetly overjoyed because she's unearthing her skull and this is how she chose to honor her in her heart, blah, blah, blah. And you want to sit there and tell me this could have been prevented. Okay. Well, okay. Did you want me to go back in time? Did you have a time machine? That I could borrow? No. And then here's Rachel. Why would you be using a hat feeder with cows that have horns? Proven to be dangerous. Homegirl, I would love to see the research papers in which you have formed this hypothesis, sir, ma'am. Okay. First of all, we don't use hat feeders around here. Okay. You want to be petty? I'm going to be fucking petty too. Second of all, anything is fucking dangerous to an animal. There, I said it. Every fucking animal, livestock, is like actively trying to fucking unalive itself at all hours of the day. Okay? Any livestock owners can attest to this. They just find things to fucking get tangled in, to get stuck in, to drown in. 99.9% of producers, farmers, whatever, day just consists of just trying to keep things alive. Okay? We're doing our fucking best. Okay? Thanks so much. Again, super unhelpful. Okay, so those are a few ones to just get us started here. I hope you like the tone that we're setting. I'm getting even angrier. I'm getting more fired up. So enjoy that. So yeah, that is what we chose to do. We wanted to keep her hide. We wanted to keep her skull. We did have another option at the time, and that was dead stock removal. So you can call and they will come and retrieve the body, incinerate it or whatever they do, but they will take it off your hands. And sure, that would have been the easiest fucking option. 100%. Easiest option. Done. Okay. The problem there was cattle have an RFID tag in their ear. Okay. It identifies the animal so that it knows there's a record of where that animal has been for legal purposes, for health purposes, food safety purposes. So me, if I wanted to keep the skull, obviously that means the head would not be attached to the body in which they would be picking up. Legally, they could not pick up an animal that does not have the RFID tag attached to them. Even if he was standing there and watched me decapitate and remove the head in which contained the RFID tag. Illegal. Couldn't do it. So I was like, oh, no fucking way then. Like, I can't do that. I can't have that because she's what a senseless death. And she's just going to be gone without a trace. And I have absolutely nothing to honor her by or remember her by. Nothing. And that just destroyed me. So I was like, that's not an option. So that's why we chose to do it ourselves and bury her in the pasture. So on the topic of it being a senseless death, I mean that in like several different layers. So obviously it was an accident, right? Shouldn't have happened. Sucks. Freak accident. So A, that sucked. B, like I said, we were gone for maybe 3 hours. I don't know. But by the time we got home, I had mentioned that she was bloated and which would mean that she had been dead for a while. So as far as harvesting her meat, no bueno, homie. It was also July. It was like 30 degrees out and flies were all over her. So, I mean, at that point, the meat would not be safe for consumption. If you tried to harvest it, flies are laying eggs in her. And then there's other bugs and shit that are adding to that little feast. She's bloated. There's a buildup of lactic acid. There's gases in her intestines. She's expelling the fetus. It's just a hot mess. Like literally hot is a mess. Okay. The digestive system itself decays quite rapidly after death, which can easily contaminate the meat with fecal matter. So as much as obviously that would have been a great, I say great in a best case scenario, okay, would be that, okay, well, we can honor her by, she's going to nourish our family. She's giving back to us in that way. And thank you, Greta. But we couldn't do that. And so that was devastating. So then to be not only not able to get her meat, and then to find out, oh, if we get this carcass picked up, we can't keep the skull. I was just like at a loss. So that is why we went the route we did. So there were some comments like, why didn't you eat it? Seems like a lot of perfectly good beef gone to waste. Why didn't you eat it? Serious question. And then someone, we both know you ate the rest of the cow's body. Do we both fucking know that? Oh my God, tell me more what you know. Jeez, you're scary. You know a lot about fucking nothing. Thanks. No, we didn't get any meat from her. Okay, period. And then moving right along into the meat and potatoes, if you will. Too soon? No. So a very popular comment topic, like an umbrella, if you will, was people criticizing me for not honoring her. Because in the video, I spoke and explained about how I felt doing these things was honoring her. And it was our choice to do these things that made us feel like, okay, this is making us feel better about respecting Greta and what she's done for us. Here we go. Whatever happened to respecting the dead? Why won't you let her rest in peace there? Okay, this one bothers me because like she's dead and also she's not her body. You know what I'm saying? She's not there anymore. Okay, just like people. It's just the body, not your soul. Okay, she's not there. So her body and her calf was buried together in her back pasture. Her skull was buried separately. So her body is resting peacefully, if you will, but like wherever animals' souls go, that's where she is. Okay, so I do believe she's resting peacefully. And you know what? I bet that motherfucker's looking down on me right now and saying thank you for like respecting the fact that I have gorgeous horns. I want everyone to see and remember me. Period. Bad Girl Lily says, I see no honor in doing this. Oh, sorry, Bad Girl Lily. Maria says, that's not honoring, that's horroring. Wow. You got me there. Okay. That Sinful Magic says, that isn't honoring her. A creature, whether human or not, is honored when they are laid at rate and left to be in peace, not a decoration. We are not missing the irony in which she spelled peace this way. And also, I would like to know, do you sit on the board of dead cow heaven? Are you a COO perhaps? I'm just wondering where you got the diplomacy to state such things with such confidence. I don't know. If Sinful Magic says it's not honoring her, then I guess, do we believe it? I don't know. Okay. Someone else says, don't lie. There's no honor in this. You just wanted a cool ass cow skull decoration. You know what? It's a bonus. I'm not going to lie. It's a fucking bonus. Obviously, they're hard as fuck. This is a nice one. Call me Kitty. All right, Kitty, I'll bite. Ew, why? Let her rest, you freak. Imagine hanging grandma on your mantle or whatever the fuck you're going to do with it. Kitty. Digging up the remains doesn't seem real honorable. Why didn't you let her rest? This isn't right. Red Rebel says, I would personally be so upset if my head was decapitated, buried, and then dug up later for someone to hang on a wall. If you wouldn't do it to a human, why on earth would you do it to an animal? Because cows aren't people. Say it with me. Cows aren't fucking people. I'd be personally upset as well. Okay. But cattle don't understand things like humans. Okay. Like autonomy. They don't give a fuck about where they go when they die. Okay. They don't have pre-funeral arrangements unless you've spoken to Greta. Did Greta tell you that she would rather be put in a fucking wooden casket? No. Okay. Didn't think so. here's my fucking problem. Animal activists and fucking vegans, whatever, come at me with the angle of the purpose of, using cattle for product, killing for slaughter for profit. Okay. But in this specific, very fucking specific case, Greta died on accident. Just fucking freak accident. Okay. She was already dead. I didn't kill her. She was dead. Like, what the fuck? Literally, what do you want from me? So in that scenario, where she's already dead, what is most honorable to you? Would you prefer I fucking tied her up in a bunch of fucking Glad garbage bags and sent her to a landfill to rot amongst trash? I don't get it. I don't get what you fucking want from me. So at the end of the day, obviously, what is honorable to us is our decision and our decision alone. And that's all that matters. But to us, that means using every part of that animal as we can, as best we can. We have literally not slaughtered a single cow. We have had cattle for 3 years now. We have yet to make a fucking penny, and we have not slaughtered anybody yet. We do have Kenny going in October. He will be our first steer for beef, but we have not done it yet. That being said, when we do it, it has always been our intention that we want nose to tail. We don't want anything to go to waste, meaning we're keeping the hide, we're keeping the skull. I want to learn how to make tallow products from my own animals. I want to keep the organs and do something with those. I don't want any of that animal to go to waste. Just because we're going to kill it and eat it doesn't mean we cannot respect it along the way and also after. Some people don't understand that, and I guess that's fine. But here I am to say my piece since you have all taken the time to say yours. My turn, bitch. So because we could not eat her meat, that felt like a massive waste. So we said, okay, that obviously is impossible. So we're going to keep her skull, we're going to keep her hide, and we're going to bury her on our back pasture, give her back to the earth, let the soil break her down, and she will return to the soil, return to the earth, nurturing the grasses that grow above and becoming a part of the land and our ranch forever. Okay. I don't think that there's anything more honorable than that. Okay. Because, okay, you want to go in a garbage bag to the landfill. Is that more honorable? It's also not fucking environmentally friendly, motherfuckers. Give your head a shake. Fucking shake your head. Okay. So while we're on the topic of the animal activists, vegans, whatever, what have you, whatever they want to be fucking called. I would like to talk about some of the comments that I saved that were like my favorites to share with you. Here we go. Maddie, okay. Maddie says, oh no, the animal you were going to prematurely slaughter after taking away her calf died. Sorry for your financial loss. Okay, here's what chaps my ass is these fucking people come in with these comments like they're so self-righteous, like they know everything, but you sound like a fucking moron because none of that is fucking true except for the financial loss part. Correct. Okay, you have like no concept as to how operations work, and you watch one fucking documentary on Netflix and you just think every operation is the exact same. Okay? Use your critical thinking skills. Activate that fucking smooth muscle in your fucking skull, okay? We were not going to prematurely slaughter her. First of all, Greta was intended to be the foundation of our breeding stock. She was going to live out her fucking days on the ranch. Mind you, of course, there is the part of the operation that if she gets sick, if something happens, there is a consideration of culling. Who knows which way the tide will go, okay? Impossible to say now what would have happened with Greta had this not occurred. But that was not ever the intention with her, to prematurely slaughter. Also, bitch, she was fucking 13. Okay? Also, the note. After taking away her calf, I know, homegirl, that you got that from a dairy documentary, okay? If you're gonna be an asshole on the internet, be an educated asshole, okay? Because I have literally never taken away a calf, and I never will. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But thank you for saying sorry of my financial loss. Thank you. Because yes. Emma says, you literally sell their flesh. I love how they use fucking flesh. Like they think it's such a trigger word. Like, okay, we're just doing synonyms now. All right, pop off. You have an encyclopedia. I'm so proud of you. You literally sell their flesh on the website. Oh, unavailable. If you're selling someone's dead body, you don't get to claim care. Here, I'm going to stop you right there. You said someone. Okay. Going back, circling back to where fucking cows aren't people. Cows are not people. Okay. Okay. So not someone. Okay. Because it's a fucking cow. Thank you. Handyman 561 says, this is beyond morbid, something beyond mental disorder. Look, you're right about one thing. And it's not the morbid part. Shout out to antidepressants. Hapa Hawaii, you're disgusting. Stop feeding into this type of stuff and making it normal. It's inhumane. Homeboy, I actually don't know what this comment means. I think I just threw it in here because I was so just like flabbergasted by it. You know what I mean? It was like a little entertaining. So I'm like, what a treat. Because it's like a mystery. I can't figure this one out. I am disgusting. Okay, cool. But what am I feeding into this type of stuff? Anyway, I don't get it. Next, imagine dying unexpectedly and to honor you, your parents / family hang your head. Do you know what? That sounds fucking dope. Hang me up there. Hang me up there by the TV. So when the gang sits down to watch fucking Wheel of Fortune at night, they'll never fucking forget these eyes. Okay? What a weird fucking thing to say. This one was just straight up sick woman. Okay. And then I just saw the username on this one now. Okay. I just okay. So this person's username is rectum stretcher. And rectum stretcher wrote, animal abuse. I wasn't prepared for this one because I did not see the username. That's a whole other, the fucking username aside, calling this animal abuse is so fucking funny to me because the cow is dead. The cow is already dead. How am I abusing the fucking animal? In fact, this video in which they are commenting on, the cow had been dead for 2 years. Yet it is animal abuse, digging up a skull. Okay. How sick this whole story is. This animal you supposedly love was destined to be eaten anyways. As you say, wasted meat. Please do not pretend to love these animals when you are going to slaughter them and eat them when the time comes, you sick woman. Again, I don't think I have words for that one. I just thought it was kind of fun. Yeah, you were so devastated that you couldn't eat her flesh. Your morals are fucked up, lady. Thank you for understanding. Thanks so much. Pigeon's Rule says, based on how hostile this original poster is to anyone questioning what happened, I'm going to guess you're a terrible owner. Oh my God. That one hurts. That one fucking hurts. I got nothing for Pigeon's Rule. Beth fucking Hamilton says, so she died of neglect and then you mutilated her body. I can't. I'm not even gonna, I can't. Oh, this one's fun. Okay. So this one, like, this person spammed everywhere. Please, please, please. People keep giving these disgusting farmers hate. They 110% get everything they have coming for them. Ew. Trying to get sympathy and respect online by burying one of the many cows you eat. Disgusting. Okay. I don't understand what you want from farmers. Again, what would you rather do with us do with a dead animal's body? I don't get it. I think burying it would be the honorable route, as I mentioned previously. Or what do you want me to, what the fuck? I can't. So yeah, so basically those are just some cute little gems I found. So cute. That just really, this is like a fucking social experiment. Actually posting anything agriculturally based online is the most wild social experiment to me. Because it's so mind-boggling how many people you will see that are like, they just don't understand it. So you're a fucking monster because we don't align and I don't get it. So I'm just going to spew random shit at you and it'll make me feel better about the fucking McDonald's burger I had today. Like, I think above all, I don't understand on that note, why the separation of the skull from the body is like so fucking shocking to people. Like, if you're a vegan and do not eat animal products whatsoever, okay. Okay. But I had way too many comments statistically for them to all be from vegans. It's like, I can guarantee you a lot of people commenting this stuff are people who are purchasing meat from the store or grabbing a bite to eat somewhere from faceless animal products. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not talking down to that. We all got to eat. We all have our own choices. We all have our own lifestyles. And I'm not fucking touching that. But my point there is, it's like, you won't bat a fucking eyelash consuming something that you have literally no idea how it got there. Yet I post this very wholesome video of how I choose to respect the animal that I raise and care for on my land. And you're fucking butthurt. Using every part of the animal is not new by any means. In fact, it is the most sustainable practice you can do with your livestock for the fucking betterment of the planet, I dare say, that you reside on. Unless you're in fucking Mars, which it kind of seems like you are from with these fucking comments. By using as much of the animal as we can, there's less animal being wasted. There's less byproduct going to the landfill or wherever it's going that's ultimately being wasted. And it's actually giving people more food and more products that we can create for you. I don't understand. So if you're going to eat a burger from wherever, what do you think? Okay, rein it in. Where do you think the skulls and bones go from the beef that you consume? What do you think they do with it? So let's get educated, okay? Get your fucking HP pencil sharpened, get your notepad out. Because yes, it is a business. So not only is every part of the animal used as much as possible to maximize profit margins, of course, but it's also to provide your ignorant ass with products that you use in your day-to-day life that you probably have no fucking idea about. In fact, there's like 100%. I would fucking bet my entire life that you're using something today that was created with a animal byproduct that you have no idea about. So of course, I know the vegans love this one because it's like, that's the extent of their knowledge because they watched one documentary. So they're like, gelatin's bad. I kind of got me where it says that have gelatin in it. If you're vegan and you're my friend, I'm not mocking you. Again, here's another time for a mid disclaimer to going back to the beginning when I prefaced the fact that I'm not pointing this at you. Okay. There are such things as respectful vegans, and I know a lot of them, but if you commented on these, you're not one of them. So I apologize for like the mockery in me right now. I'm feeling spicy, like I said. So yeah, the go-to is, gelatin. Yeah. They grind hooves from cows and bones, and they make marshmallows and gummy bears, caramels, jams. Sure. Correct. Okay. And that's fine. If you don't want to eat that, that's absolutely fine. But I would like to go a little bit further, and I would like to maybe mention a few things that maybe you didn't know were made from animal products. So beyond just those few kind of food items, things like buttons, glues, photographic film, paper, wallpaper, sandpaper, combs, toothbrushes. And here's one that I actually didn't know, but I love that. I love learning. Okay. We should all not be so afraid of fucking learning new things. Bone charcoal is vital in the production of high-grade steel ball bearings. Who knew? So maybe you're like, well, I don't use any of those things because I already knew that. Okay. Well, I'm not done. But here's where it gets good. Here's my gotcha moment, okay? Because not only do cattle provide us with derivative products in our day-to-day household products, foods, etc., they also play a major role in human health. Beef cattle also provide us with allergy medicine, vaccines, vitamins, burn ointment, first aid creams, respiratory inhalers, anti-rejection drugs, bandages, and other laboratory research materials. So I found a couple articles because your girl is nothing but prepared, and I'm coming with those receipts. So this article, and if you're really pressed about it, I can find you the source, but I'm too lazy right now. So using the entire beef animal from nose to tail provides us the human health benefits of more than 100 individual drugs. Hides from cattle can be used to make purified collagen that is used in cell research. And bones can be used to make screws in orthopedic surgery. You can also find beef products in things such as dermal fillers and lip injections. Also, dental fillings. Gelatin, again, not only is it found or used for, the candies, the marshmallows, the jams, etc. It's also a protein that is found in gel capsules of medication. Lactose. Lactose is a type of sugar that comes from cow's milk, sometimes used as a binder or filler in certain medications. Okay, again, so this isn't necessarily bones, but I'm just kind of going off here off the cuff of things you may not know about that come from a fucking cow. Because if you're so pressed about what I'm doing with the skull, you better sit and listen to all the other products you are benefiting from using the entire cow. So continuing on the fact with the pharmaceutical aspect, there are tons of proteins and hormones and enzymes, etc., that are derived from a cow, a dead cow, to make products that are potentially life-saving. Let's go through it. Let's go through the pharmaceutical products. So insulin, pancreatin, we got heparin, a fucking anticoagulant. Skipping a few, liver extract, vitamin B12, bone marrow, soft cartilage, bone meal, prolactin, vasopressin, ACTH. And then from the blood of cattle, we can get things like blood factors. So you have thrombin, a coagulant to help form blood clots, iron to treat anemia, other blood factors, so for treating hemophilia, killing viruses, and making anti-rejection drugs. So when you get a fucking organ transplant, okay, the drugs that they give you to prevent your body from rejecting said organ are from a cow. Did you know asphalt? Did you know that asphalt has a binding agent from beef fat? Did you know that? So the fucking road you drive on? How you gonna get to work, homie? Glue from beef protein is used in car bodies. Antifreeze contains glycerol derived from fatty acids to keep engines running cool. Tires contain stearic acid, which makes rubber hold its shape under continuous surface friction. Incredible. Numerous lubricants and fluids contain fatty acids from inedible beef fats and proteins, hydraulic brake fluid, airplane lubricants, runway foam, car polishes, waxes, and textiles for car upholstery. So if you want to fucking come at me and talk to me from all the way the fuck up here on your high horse, your pedestal, or your soapbox, whatever the fuck it is, and look down on me, you better not be using any of these products, and you better not be driving a car, walking on a fucking sidewalk, needing a fucking life-changing surgery, using insulin, taking Advil that has a gel capsule, driving a car, flying on a plane. I don't know where else to fucking go with this. I could go all fucking day. I really could, but don't have the energy. I'm so fucking sick of you. A couple more points. One comment I got. Dogtan Albert. Albert says, you are terrible human. I hope your children will not be like you. Well, thanks for that sentiment, Albert, but the contrary for me. I hope they are just like me, and I'm doing my best to teach them that exact way. And they're doing great. I teach them about death on the farm. They get to see all kinds of things, experiences that I truly wish you got to experience as a child, because you obviously didn't. I'm actually doing my best to raise my children in a way that they grow up to actually not be like you. I think involving them in the whole process, and just not just this one, but farming in general, so educational. Learning about science, learning about life, respecting animals, respecting the earth, how things work, anatomy. Like, how cool is it now that we have a skull that I can teach them the anatomy? That would have fucking blown my mind as a kid. Like, that's what's under there? Wow. Do you know what I mean? Touch grass. Go fucking touch grass, Albert. And when it comes to everyone being so upset or whatever they are, whatever you want to call that, about burial or death in general with the animal, I'm just like, where I keep getting stuck on is, you're so upset of how I chose to bury and honor whatever, do whatever I wish to with the remains of the animal that I own. It is 100% my decision and mine alone. You're so upset, but like, how many of you, those people making these comments, have fucking grandma on the mantle? Grandma's fucking crispy remains on a mantle, or fucking Peepaw. Peepaw's little crispy sand in a locket around your neck. Again, nothing wrong with that, because I respect that. That's how people want to deal with grief or remember their loved ones. Who the fuck are you to say? Or like if you've lost a dog or a pet or whatever, like you get it cremated. How many of you have the remains of your fucking dog somewhere in your home? Because you look at it and there's that paw print and it's fucking like something to remember them by. Like how sweet is that? I think it's such a fucking blessing, a blessing and such a privilege to be able to form relationships with animals or to have animals in your life. And things like dogs we know they don't live long. So it doesn't matter what the fucking species it is. If you formed a bond or you love and respect and care for this animal, of course you want something to remember them when they die because it's fucking heartbreaking, obviously. So let me fucking keep a skull, for fuck's sakes. I literally fail to see how it's affecting you in any fucking way. Oh, here's a couple honorable mentions, just a couple more comments to read before I fucking wrap this up because I'm about to just light something on fire. Honorable mentions. Fucking TX Nasty 07 says, I could have gotten better results in 2 weeks than y'all did in 2 years. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a fucking competition. Were we racing to see how fast our beloved animals could decompose? Like, homeboy, I don't fucking care. And I didn't ask. Last one by Kiki Sally. Kiki Sally 22 says, I couldn't do it. It wouldn't feel right. So don't do it. So don't do it. Kiki. Don't do it. And I didn't fucking ask. Okay, so I mean, I get this a lot whenever I share about like negative feedback I get or whatever. I get it a lot from people being like, so why do you share it then? Like, why do you share all this stuff if you know you're going to get this kind of response? Or that you know that like likely people are going to react negatively. You know what? I never post something with the intention that, oh, this is going to be controversial. I love it. It's like genuinely things that we just do here that are normal to us that a group of people or whatever find controversial because they don't understand it. And then it's this whole, like they have this crazy emotional response and reaction to it. And then it becomes controversial, but like, I don't think it's controversial. That's the point. I share things that we do transparently that are common practice that I know a ton of other farmers and ranchers are doing because that's probably where I got it from. We all talk. We all try to do the same fucking thing. So it's more for me about just like, that was my mission from the beginning, to share what we do, to normalize practices on a farm, on a ranch, so that people are more educated about what happens from point A to point B, how they get their food or how that product came to be, not just food, how they got their fucking anticoagulant drug, okay? All these things. I think the education is so important. And also, why do I do it? I do it also because there's a layer to it that is the fact that I can handle it. Okay, I can handle it a lot more now than I could have, but I'm real good at handling it. But I know a lot of people with egg-based businesses or like on socials with farm accounts or whatever, trying to do the same thing, sharing their agricultural story. I had a lot of them reach out to me over the last years, whatever, about how I can't, that's brave of you to share this, or like last time I shared this, XYZ happened. I can't talk about this anymore. Or like I can't show a picture of my dairy cow because blah, blah, blah. And then they don't do it anymore, which is like fucking totally valid. You have to have boundaries in place. I'm a firm believer in that. You have to have boundaries, and you have to make, if your plan is to show up on social media consistently, you have to make it sustainable. And if that means a boundary is that, oh, we don't fucking share that because I know I'm going to get this feedback and I don't want that. I can't handle that. That's fair. I'm petty though, and stubborn, and I see it more as a challenge, and I see it more as if you're getting this kind of like pushback, it just means that topic, concept, whatever, hasn't been normalized yet. And we have a lot of work to do. So it's going to take more people talking about it and kind of pushing the envelope, I guess. I don't think I'm pushing the envelope, but other people might disagree. It's going to take more of that to make this group of people that don't understand something, to make one by one, little by little, a couple of them go, oh, wait a second. And they look at it differently. And then maybe you've changed that person's way of thinking for the better, which above all is a betterment positive trend for agriculture. And we all fucking know we need agriculture as a world to survive. So can we get behind it instead of trashing everyone involved in the industry? I can't deal. The worst / best part / funniest part is like these people commenting like really think they're doing something. Like really think they're doing something. It's like, first of all, logically, if I have posted a video, it is in the past, obviously. Once the event occurs, it has occurred, period, past tense. It has already happened. So you commenting like, oh my God, you shouldn't do that. You should do this. This is blah, blah, blah. What's that going to change? What is that going to do? What positive effect is that going to have on anyone? And that can't be good for your mental health either. You're worrying about things that are not in your control, baby girl. You are worrying about shit that you should not be worrying about. If you are so passionate about these such topics, I think there are more efficient ways for you to participate in them. If you write a fucking thesis, do some research, do a documentary, talk to a farmer, God forbid, talk to a farmer. Holy fuck. That would be fucking groundbreaking. Right? Okay. So get out of your mom's fucking basement. Go do something with your life. God, these events have already happened, or whatever you're mad about has already happened. And even if they haven't, if you're like sharing your opinion or whatever, guys, we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. Me specifically, you telling me, oh, meat is murder. That's what we're doing. We have a beef operation. I'm still going to do it. Nothing you fucking say is going to change that because I don't exist to please you. badkitty_69, kittycat.com, whatever the fuck your username is. I don't exist on this app for you. I am unfortunately got onto your For You page or whatever. Unfortunately, wish I didn't, honestly, really wish I didn't. Okay. I'd sacrifice all the views if it meant you didn't get on my fucking radar, or I didn't get on your radar. Because my goal, like I said, at the end of the day is I am advocating for agriculture by sharing what we do on the ranch. Okay. So what I do on the ranch and what I share on social media, pretty well parallel. I share most things and it does get me in some trouble. And by trouble, I just mean from like dingle dongles like you that just want to cry and complain and whine. But again, I'm still going to do it. Nothing you say is going to change that because that's what I'm doing. I just think there's more efficient things you could be doing with your time. That's all. I'm looking out for you. Okay. So that's really it. Advocating for agriculture. Continuing to share the things that are normal for day to day for a mass majority of us that unfortunately just a lot of people don't understand. But that's okay because when someone doesn't understand, it gives us an opportunity to educate. It gives us an opportunity to talk more about agriculture and to do it in an educational way so someone can understand and maybe someone piques an interest. And maybe that person is a trickle effect that they're like, oh no, some misinformation pops up at their dinner party one night. They're like, oh no. And they shut that down. And then it just goes down the line. You know what I mean? We got a lot of work to do. So that's just me out here fighting the good fight, just getting absolutely fucking slammed by these trolls on the internet. But it's okay because it's okay. All right. So that's pretty much it for today. Again, if you're listening, I love you. None of this was directed at you. This was just like a therapy vent session directed at all the fucking whatever trolls out there that pissed me off this week. Okay. So thank you for listening. And I know a lot of you can relate if you're in ag, especially, or not even ag. If you advocate for anything on social media, if you have a fucking opinion on social media, you can relate because people don't like when other people have opinions. Isn't that wild? Especially if you're a woman. There, I said it. So yeah, I guess just in conclusion, to those people, not you, get off your high fucking horse and go read a book or something. Okay? Go do something with your life. Okay? See you next time.